Hello students, I am Professor Awais Ahmed Hussaini, working as Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department at Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Yadra. So in last video we discussed so many points related with the psychrometry, also the terms related with the psychrometry along with their properties. Also we discussed what are the different lines in the psychrometric chart. Now in this fourth video of the fourth chapter of the refrigeration and air conditioning, we will discuss various types of the air conditioning system. So there is another mode of the classification of the air conditioning system on the basis of application, that is summer air conditioning system, winter air conditioning system and year-round air conditioning system. Now first we will discuss that summer air conditioning system. So most important and interesting thing is the main purpose of the summer air conditioning system is to serve during that summer condition, means in order to produce the cooling effect in the summer condition. So this particular system is mostly used in that summer conditions. So in India mostly that summer air conditioner are used. So here in this particular word diagram we will get the idea about the various components of the summer air conditioning system. So here the first important component is the damper as well as grill. So the main function of that damper and grill is to allow the air from the atmosphere in required amount. Now the most important component in that air conditioning system is that air filter. So the purpose of that air filter is to trap the dust and dirt particle and supply only pure air for further application. Now the next important is that cooling coil. Generally these coils are the evaporator coil. So with the help of that air conditioning or refrigeration cycle, that is vapor compression cycle, the evaporator is the most important device from which we can get the cooling effect. So these are the evaporator coils. Now the next important is that perforated arrangement for condensation purpose. Now similar way that heating coil is added here in order to maintain the dry bulb temperature and required humidity in the conditioned space. The next is that blower or fan is used to circulate the purified air or cooled air in the passage of that conditioned space. Now from here it is continuously passes through the return duct, and also that return air which is coming from that conditioned space is mixed with the air which is coming from the atmosphere. So students, as we know that the summer air conditioning system is mostly used in case of the summer season, it is the most important type of the air conditioning in which air is cooled and generally dehumidified. The outside air flows through the damper and mix up with the recirculated air. So here the main function of the damper is to allow the required amount of the air from the atmosphere, and whatever the air which is coming from the return or duct through that conditioned space, it get mixed with each other and the mixture of the air is formed. The outside air flows through the damper and mixes with the recirculated air which is obtained from the conditioned space. The mixed air passes through a filter to remove the dirt, dust and other impurities. The air now passes through the cooled coil. So the main function of the cooled coil is to cool the air. So generally in case of the vapor compression refrigeration system, the main purpose is to produce a cooling effect with the help of that evaporator coil. So what exactly that evaporator coil do? So the main function of that evaporator coil is to absorb the energy or absorb the heat from that air and produce a cooling effect. So here before that air is passing through that cooling coil, that air is having the high temperature. So when the air is come in contact with the cooling coil, then latent heat is continuously takes place in the case of the evaporator section, and due to that effect of conduction and convection we will get the cooled air after that when the air is passes through the coil. So the air is now passes through that coil. The coil has a temperature much below the required dry bulb temperature. Now the cooled air is passes through the perforated member. So here you will get idea about the perforated member. The main purpose is to allow the condensate effect. After that the air is made to pass through the heating coil. So this is a heating coil. So the main purpose of that heating coil is to maintain proper or designed dry bulb temperature as well as relative humidity. Now whatever the air is coming from that heating coil is just enters in the conditioned space through the blower or the fan. So here you will get the cooling effect, and through that ventilator we will get that cooling effect. These are the diffusers are used to supply the air. Now similarly, after conditioned air is effect in the room, that particular whatever the air is remaining, that remaining air is continuously moves through that return duct. This is the duct arrangement through which that air are coming from that conditioned space, and again it is mixed with the air which is coming from the outside. So this is the construction as well as the working of the summer air conditioning system. So students, the main speciality of that summer air conditioning system is it is mostly used in the South Asian countries like India, and mostly it is used in the summer condition system in order to produce the cooling effect in the summer season. Generally in India, the air conditioner is used in case of that summer condition. So this particular system is designed to serve the purpose of that to produce the cooling effect during that summer air conditioning system. So these are the construction and important components of that summer air conditioning system: dampers, air filters, cooling coils, then perforated tray arrangement, now heating coils, blower, then duct, conditioned space, and from conditioned space after cooling that air is again come in contact with that particular air which is coming from the atmosphere, and the mixture is continuously passes through the filter in order to trap the contaminant like dust or dirt particle. So this is all about summer air conditioning system. Now student, the second most important type of the air conditioning system is that winter air conditioning. The purpose of that winter air conditioning is to provide the the heating effect in the winter season. So this particular system is designed to produce the heating effect during winter conditioning system. So in case of the western countries, mostly that winter air conditioning, or European countries, that winter air conditioning system is mostly used. So there are various components of that winter air conditioning. Some are same as that of summer air conditioning system. So the first important component of the winter air conditioning system is grill and damper. The main function of that grill and damper is to pass the contaminant or that main air from the atmosphere in the required amount. The next important component is that air filter. The air filter is needed to trap the contaminant like dust, dirt particle, and generally HEPA filter is used. After that, that preheater, that heating coil is there. The main function of that heating coil is to heat the air which is coming from the atmosphere as well as from the return duct. Then after that it passes through that humidifier. The main function of that humidifier is to humidify that air, and after that again the same mixture of the air is passes over the coils of that heating for heating purpose, where that dry bulb temperature and humidity is again controlled. Now the same mixture is continuously passes in the conditioned space where we will get that heating effect through that blower or the fan, and after conditioning application that remaining air is moved towards that particular area through that return duct arrangement, and finally this cycle is again repeat itself. So in winter air conditioning, the air is heated, which is generally accompanied by humidification process. So the outside air flows through a damper and mixed with the recirculated air which is coming from that return duct arrangement. The mixture is passed through the filter. So this is the main filter in order to remove the dust and dirt and other impurities. So generally HEPA filter is used. The air is now passes through the preheater coil, in which there is a prevent the freezing, and here at the end of that coil effect we will get that heated air. Now after that the air is made to pass through the reheating coils with the help of that humidifier. The main function of that humidifier is to humidify the air in order to produce the proper dry bulb as well as wet bulb temperature, and the main function of that reheater is to remove the moisture content, which is there is some chances of the remaining after that humidification process, and whatever that heating air is required for comfort application during the winter season in conditioned space is utilized through the blower or fan in the conditioned space. And after the main serving the application of the conditioned space, that whatever the air is remains, air is continuously passed through the area of the duct arrangement, that is return duct arrangement. Again it is continuously used in the cycle, and simultaneously it mixed with the air which is coming from the atmosphere. So this is all about winter air conditioning system. So students, as we know that winter air conditioning system mostly used in European countries where the requirement of the heating in the winter condition, but in India we never use that winter air conditioning system mostly. So this particular system is mostly used by the European country during winter season in order to achieve the heating effect in the room. So the third important type of the air conditioning system is year-round air conditioning system. So the main purpose of that air conditioning system is to serve the effect of the heating as well as cooling in throughout the year. So in winter season it helps to heat the room, and in summer season it helps to cool the room. So it serves the both function. So it is a combination of the summer air conditioning system as well as winter air conditioning system. So basically these are the important components of the year-round air conditioning system. So the first is grill and damper. So the main function of that grill and damper is to allow the required amount of the air. The next important component is that air filter. The main function of the air filter is to trap the contaminant as well as dust and dirt particle. After that there is one evaporative coil is there. That evaporative coil is nothing but that evaporator cycle which works on that vapor compression refrigeration system. The main function of that cooling coil is to produce the cooling effect, and simultaneously there is a humidifier is used. The main function of the humidifier is to humidify the air. Now after that the next important component is that heating coil. After that heating coil there is one blower or the fan in order to move the conditioned air or main controlled air or the purify air in the passage of the conditioned space. So this is a space where we need the comfortness in order to achieve the cooling as well as heating effect, and air after that conditioned is continuously flowing through the area of that return duct, and again this particular cycle is repeat itself. So in brief, I repeat that particular year-round air conditioning system once again. The year-round air conditioning system should have equipment for the both purpose, that is for summer as well as for winter air conditioning purpose, in order to produce the heating as well as cooling effect in summer as well as in winter condition. Similar way, the outside air flows through the damper and mixed with the recirculated air in this particular area, and the mixture of the passes through the filter in order to remove the dust and dirt particle and other impurities. Similar way, in summer air conditioning, the cooling coil operate to cool the air to be designed value. So the main purpose of that cooling coil is mostly in that summer air conditioning system, and after that cooling that coil, it enters through the conditioned space through the blower arrangement, and again that particular cycle is repeat itself, and whatever the air is remains in the conditioned space is move towards that return air duct, and it will mixed. In this way the purpose of the motto of the summer air conditioner system serves here. Now in case of the winter season, again the air is coming from the atmosphere, and from the return duct whatever the mixture is generated here, it passes through that filter. The main function of the filter is to trap the contaminant like dust, dirt particle and other impurities, and instead of that air is passing through that cooling coil in winter season, that same air is continuously passed through that heating coil through the humidifier. So the main function of the humidifier is to humidify that air, and after passing through that heating coil, that air get heated, and that heated air or that conditioned air enters in the conditioned space through the blower or the fan arrangement. So here our main intention of the heating of the air during winter season is achieved. Now the air after that conditioned space is moved towards through this return duct arrangement, and again it will mixed which is air which is coming from the atmosphere through the damper, and the same mixture is continuously move. So here we will get heating effect during winter season as well as a cooling effect during that summer season. So it serves both purpose. So the name is given year-round air conditioning system. So it is mostly used in all kinds of that countries like India as well as Western countries. So the next important point of the discussion is the difference between summer air conditioning and winter air conditioning system. So students, in case of that summer air conditioning system, the air is cooled and dehumidified. So this is the most important concept in case of the summer air conditioning system. So in case of the summer air conditioning system, air is cooled and dehumidified. What is the meaning of that dehumidify? The meaning of the dehumidify is to remove the moisture content. Now the next is that in case of the winter air conditioning, the air is heated and humidified. So we must have to add the moisture content during this particular process. So this is nothing but that summer air conditioning system and winter air conditioning difference. The next important difference is the cooling coils are used to cool the air and to remove the excess moisture in the air. So as we know that in case of the summer air conditioning system, we are removing the moisture in the air. So the cooling coil plays the important role for cooling the air. So the cooling coils are used to cool the air and to remove the excess moisture in the air. Now in case of the winter air conditioning system, that heating coil is mostly used and it will help to increase the moisture content in the air. So now the third important difference between that summer air conditioning system and winter air conditioning system is before supply to the room, the conditioned air is passes through the water eliminator and heating coil to maintain the comfort condition of 20 degree to 22 degree centigrade temperature, and we must have to maintain the relative humidity in amount 40 to 50%. Now in case of that winter air conditioning system, finally the air is reheated to bringing it to the comfortable range of the temperature in between 18 degrees centigrade to 22 degrees centigrade, and we must have to maintain the higher relative humidity. This is in the range of that 50% to 60% we must have to maintain during that winter air conditioning system. So student, this video indicate that construction and working of summer air conditioning system, winter air conditioning system, also year-round air conditioning system. Thank you.